So we can do that. Greetings and salutations, ladies and menfolk. Welcome to another episode of Game Break. I am Charles, coming to you today with another episode of Everlasting Summer. Now, last time round, I believe we wrapped up day 4, and things are starting to go a bit sideways. I'm really not quite sure what we're in for, but here's to hoping that it is going to make a little more sense going forward, because some of the characters are starting to turn, and I'm not quite sure just what's going on here, that they have an abandoned camp with all sorts of shenanigans underground and electronic. No, not electronic. His bunk mate is a little wonky. Now, I have some ideas and suspicions, but we need to play a little more, get a little deeper to figure out just what is going on here. So, let's dive right into day 5. We ran with the last of our strength. Like those who run for their precious lives. Like a doomed person, knowing that there is no hope to save his life, will still fight at the inevitable and his own fate. I barely managed to close the heavy metal door behind me. I have no idea how deep this bomb shelter is, or if it's able to withstand a nuclear blast, but we have no other place to hide. She gripped my hand tight. Don't be afraid. Bits of the ceiling were falling, and the walls were shaking. I was prepared for the worst. But death is the kind of thing that you can't ever be prepared for. But suddenly, complete silence fell. It rang even louder than the explosions. Maybe it's time to say goodbye. She was whimpering. I wanted to comfort her somehow, but realized that there is nothing I could do. Yes. You know, a horrible bang almost split my eardrums. It seems that I'm under a piece of collapsed ceiling, but I don't feel any pain. All I want is to not let her go. Well, that was a fun nightmare. I woke up in a cold sweat, short of breath and gasping for air. It took me some time to come to my senses. It was a dream. It was just a dream. My questioning mind, however, refused to believe it. But who was that girl with me there? I didn't want to let go of her hand so desperately. Sadly, I couldn't recall her at all. The clock was showing a few minutes past 10. I slowly came to my senses as reality started to shake out its claim on my mind, and my stomach foully growled. All right, war is war, but lunch should be served in due time. Turned out that Olga wasn't here. She must have decided not to wake me up. Well, Thanks go out to our camp leader for this. After yesterday's adventures, I had to have a rest. Last night remained a blurry memory, which I really didn't want to think about. It's now more important to find something to eat, and to wash myself. Exactly. Because a pioneer must always be clean and tidy. Though I would agree with this principle even if I wasn't a pioneer. And as a matter of fact, I'm not. On my way to the washstands, I met Electronique. He started to wave his hands and ran up to me. Good morning. Thank you for finding Shurik. Without him, I don't even... It's nothing. I was a bit embarrassed. No, really. Don't be so shy. The country must be proud of its heroes. And what about Shurik? How does he look this morning? Is he all right? After yesterday's craziness, I thought such a question was completely valid. Yes, absolutely. The only thing is that he can't remember anything. Can't he? I wasn't surprised at all. He says that he went to the abandoned camp yesterday, and then woke up in his bed in the morning. I mean, he remembers nothing between those two events. I see. All right, then. You missed breakfast, right? Come to our club. We'll feed you. I have something special. Electronique smiled in a conspiratorial way. Thanks, I'll come, probably. I had to wash myself first anyway. We'll be waiting. Okay. He waved at me and left to carry out his own business. There was nobody near the washstands. The water turned out surprisingly warm today. It's been warmed up already, I guess. Having my face washed, I realized that it wouldn't be easy to wash the rest of my body here. Maybe I should go to the showers. But since there is nobody here, I turned the tap in such a way so water streamed parallel to the ground and started to take off my clothes. And what if somebody sees me? Well, I'll rinse and dry myself quickly and put on my clothes. The water, which seemed warm on my hands and face, felt bone-chillingly cold on my body. The whole washing process took no longer than 10 seconds, and I started to wipe myself quickly afterwards. But I didn't manage to finish anyway. There were voices coming in from the direction of the footpath. The only solution came to me in a split second. I grabbed my clothes and dashed into the bushes. A moment later, Elisa and Ilyana appeared near the washstands. You could have done it by yourself. Why did you bring me here? Is it a big deal for you? Fine, let me. I peered at them and noticed that they were both covered in red paint. What a surprise. I wonder how they managed that. Elisa opened the valve and started to rub Ilyana's back. Take off your bra. What if somebody sees us? What? Is there anything to see? I'd rather you not show that. I really don't want to have to censor stuff. Can you make it easy on a poor game player? She grinned. Okay, just be quick. And censoring. It was true that there wasn't much to look at, but even so, I stared at the girls narrowly. It was a pity that they were standing with their backs to me. A minute later, Elisa managed to wash off all the paint.
I'm done. Thanks. You're welcome.
Elisa replied lazily.
Listen, let me try on yours.
She pointed to Elisa's bra.
It won't fit you for sure. Well, I'd like to try anyway. But out here, there's nobody here, right?
Ilyana looked my way and smiled archly. I was absolutely sure she couldn't see me in these bushes, but...
Enough with this nonsense.
Ilyana wasn't listening to her anymore and grabbed Elisa's bra with a dexterous move instead. Now, I have to confess, I had something to look at. I watched the two girls chase one another around the washstands with bated breath. Elisa covered her breasts with her hands so I could barely see anything at all. I leaned forward and stumbled over a stone, falling out of the bushes. That's gonna go over well. Elisa and Ilyana stood frozen, staring at me. I tried to cover my nudity with my guilty face. The tableau lasted for a few seconds. Then Elisa took her shirt and somehow managed it on in an instant.
You!
Her face gone from red to purple. It looked like she would explode in a nuclear blast any second. The only thing I wanted was to disintegrate into atoms and to get as far away from the epicenter as possible.
He was sitting there the whole time!
So, she noticed me then.
You!
And I accidentally, if you know what I mean. That's a scary face. Elisa rushed at me. Covering my butt with one hand and holding my clothes with the other, I ran into the woods. It seemed the best solution to me at the time, as showing up naked in the middle of the camp accompanied by two screaming girls wasn't a good idea. I ran without looking back, and stopped a few minutes later to catch my breath. It seemed that there was no pursuit. So, I managed to save myself, but at the cost of lacerated, scratched, and bleeding feet, as I had no time to put on my boots. I sat on a tree stump and sighed. Some time later, having dressed already, I left the forest. I need to decide what to do next. My feet are hurting, so I should go straight to infirmary. But on the other hand, my stomach isn't going to wait either. Maybe I should accept Electronique's invitation. Or head to the canteen in the hope of finding something left to eat there. Okay, so, do I want to go to the infirmary to fix my feet? Take my chances with the dining hall? Or maybe possibly learn more about just what the heck happened to Shurik? I'm really curious about Shurik, because that really just went sideways so quickly. I was desperately hungry. I always took good care of my health, and even better care at the times when something starts to hurt badly, and now I was able to walk, and my feet weren't even hurting much. So my feet will heal up eventually, while my hunger can't wait. I decided to take advantage of Electronique's invitation. In the end, knowing the local pioneers, it was smart to assume that there wasn't even a piece of stale bread left at the canteen. And the Cybernetics Club actually somewhat owe me. With such thoughts, I approached the club's building and heard screams coming from within. I tried to listen closely, but couldn't figure out anything. Ah, crap baskets. Give it back!
No, I won't!
Uliana was running around the room with a coil of wire in her hands, chased by Shurik. Guys, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but... Give it back! They didn't even give me a bit of attention.
No, I won't!
Shurik, completely caught up in the chase, slipped past me, almost knocking me down. Hey! Uliana was running in circles around the room, laughing cheerfully. I wonder what she needs this wire for. Meanwhile, the head of the Cybernetics Club was looking fine even after yesterday's madness. One could even say he was looking fresh. But this probably wouldn't help him to catch Uliana. She was smaller, more agile, and faster after all. She could easily drive him to exhaustion. Hey! Uliana ran up to me and hid behind my back. Shurik, in his turn, left the club, slamming the door on his way out. He was offended, it seemed. Hey, what's wrong with you?
You won't catch me!
She looked at Electronique, who was silently observing all this silly running, and stuck out her tongue at him.
Semyon, take the wire away from her.
And why do you need it in the first place? You don't have enough wire or something? He was trying to catch Uliana, who was hiding behind me. He moved to the right, while she moved to the left. He moved to the left, and she moved to the right. In the end, I got tired of this and grabbed the wire from Uliana with one dexterous move.
Give it back! Give it back!
She shouted resentfully. No, I won't. Stop horsing around. I held the wire above my head so Uliana with her height couldn't possibly get it. Thank you.
Okay, fine.
She snorted and turned away from me. Why do you need it in the first place?
That's none of your business.
Uliana looked at me slyly.
Do you want me to tell everybody that you...
I shut her mouth with my hand and dragged her along to the exit. Okay, we need to go, I told Electronique while giggling stupidly. And what did you come for? Once outside, I let the kicking Uliana free. Hear me out. You realize that it was an accident. Even more so, it was caused by you.
I know nothing. Facts are facts. You were watching us. Aw, what would Olga think?
On the one hand, I did not want to care in the slightest what the camp leader would say. But on the other, everything was against me, and in my position, it would be better to not get myself into such a situation. Fine. Maybe we could make a deal somehow. She started to think.
I know.
I anticipated the worst.
You bring me that wire.
But what do you need it for?
I need it for my needs.
Okay, let's assume I get it. You won't tell anybody?
I give you the word of a pioneer.
I could hardly believe her. But, on the other hand, it was just a coil of wire. So why shouldn't I try? The last time we gave something to somebody, something went boom. But if we don't, we'll get in trouble. Then again, we've danced around here a couple times now, and it's never really seemed to pan out. I think I'm going to refuse her. I'll take my chances. No. No wire for you. Enough already.
Then I'll tell everything.
You'll tell everything anyway. Or Elisa will.
Get lost.
Yeah, sure. As if it was my fault.
It is. You were watching us.
No, I wasn't. But, no matter how you slice it, I actually was.
Elisa doesn't think so.
She doesn't agree with me about a lot of things.
And Olga won't be happy either.
You know what? I started to lose my temper. If you want to tell everything, go ahead right now. And don't forget to mention that the government's default, world depression, global warming, and the Genesis flood are all my fault too.
Oh, come on. Stop overreacting like that. I was joking.
Joking? I suddenly realized that I really was wound up too much. Your jokes are stupid. And what am I supposed to do every time? Guess if it is for real or a joke?
Yep.
She grinned.
It's more funny that way. She's got you there.
Uliana turned around and ran towards the square, waving her hand in parting. Still, you can't deal with her in a harmonious way. I sighed and went back into the club's quarters. And we're gonna cut things there and find out just, can we get some breakfast lunch from Electronique, and maybe find out why that wire was trying to be purloined in next time's episode. And who knows what's going to happen next. First, we show up in a pioneer camp that makes no sense contextually to where this original character is from. Then there's nothing but girls. Then there's some guys. Then wanderings happen and characters go a bit nutty. And now there's wardrobe malfunctions. This camp is just falling apart around the seams. And it's only day 5. I could only imagine what we'll get up to by the end. But if you want to find out what happens at the end, click that subscribe button so you can check in on future episodes and watch the full backlog if you're just joining in. And check out all the other various shenanigans that we get up to. And until next time, go play some games, go be creative, go have some fun.